So I thought I'd come out here again, and it's been really pretty the last couple of days. Just walking around in the woods and just taking in all the things that we typically take for granted on a daily basis. I know I have. I think what everybody looks for in their daily life is something positive, something that will make you happy. So you're not going to see content on the other channels. You're just not, because that's not me. That's not who I am, and I don't do that kind of stuff. It was nice for a little test run and a little thought process that, oh yeah, let's do some this kind of content or that kind of content. And the last 2 years have really, I guess, showed me that there's a whole lot more to life, especially the older that I'm getting, than just trying to impress or make people like me when I'm just me. It's the same goes for you and everybody else. I mean, you don't have to set yourself on fire just to keep other people warm, right? That's a really nice little quote that I saw. I try to make things more not only fun and happy, but try to find the bright side of things. It's really difficult when things are not going very well. I've had some very rough times. I really have. I've gone through a lot in the last 4 years, but through all of that difficult time, not every day is going to be tough. Not every day. You're not going to cry every day. You're not going to just wish you weren't here days. You're not going to do that every single day. You may have those days where they just, like for me, it hit me in a row, like boom, this day was bad, this day was that, and it was just terrible, absolutely terrible. There was no way around it. But you're not always going to have those days like that. You're going to have people that you can barely tolerate, and people will come into your life for a reason and a season. They will use you for what they will use you for. They will make life just absolutely unbearable for you, and you learn to get around it, and you maneuver, because it's all about survival. Just surviving. That's all we're doing. We're just literally surviving. And it helps me. I'm not going to push any type of religion or anything off on you guys, but it helps me to understand for myself personally, to know that there is a higher power, and that I can, pray, and I can read my little scriptures, and I can look at all these wonderful motivational quotes just to help me get my day started better than I've been doing. Because at the end of the day, what matters is you and where you're at mentally, physically, and are you functioning? Because I can tell you, I went through a complete, long, ridiculous period of time where I couldn't even get out of the bed. I wasn't functioning. Everything humanly possible that I could think could go wrong would go wrong. You deal with grief and loss, and not so much in the sense of, yeah, I did have, a family member, a very close relative, pass away, and that's been difficult to deal with. But you deal with grief in other ways, when people just leave. They just leave. And you have to learn to get yourself right and be in the right mindset to be able to handle those things. And I didn't think at like 48 years old that I would be having to deal with things that I'm having to deal with now, but you do. I mean, nobody really teaches you this stuff. You just kind of have to figure it out and kind of maneuver and move on your own. But you'll learn, and you'll learn the hard way, and you'll learn the sad way, and you'll learn some very tough tough things, and you'll have to make some very tough decisions about yourself and about people and other people and who you need in your circle. Because again, it's just between you and how are you going to think? Are you going to think positive all the time, or are you going to think negative? Yes, bad things happen. Bad things happen. Bad people come in. Bad people leave. That's just life. That's how it works. You know, living on the earth is difficult enough as it is, but if we can find just a small little smackerel of something that gives us joy, that makes us happy, and we can feed off of that, and we can make the day better than how it started or how it ended, or just make it to where we're thinking more positively and we're doing better brain health. It's all about brain health and heart health too, because your brain health and mental health is important. So is your heart health. Your heart's got to be right. Your heart's got to be good. And the two need to sync up. So sometimes it takes a little bit extra push on our part to get out of these negative holes, so to speak, and think of something positive. Don't think about all the bad people that came in and ruined your day, or you thought you had a friend and now you don't have this friend anymore for whatever reason. You don't live in that particular past. Get out of it. That was hard for me to even understand. I had to stop that. All the people that used you, that used me, let them go. Let them go. Because at the end of the day, they're no longer here anyway, so they don't matter. What matters is how you pick yourself up. Doesn't matter if you fall flat on your face. Matters not. As long as you pick yourself up off the ground and get yourself a little bit better than you were the day before. A little bit better than the day before that. And you continue to do that. All of that positive thinking and finding the happy. Your pursuit of happiness. You got to find it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how small of a smackerel it is. As long as you found it and you can hang on to that little bit in times of trouble, times of need. You know, depression is a beast. It is a beast. I deal with it a lot. It is not for the faint of a heart, I can tell you. And some days, you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go. You don't want to deal with kids. You don't want to deal with husbands, wives, partners, whatever. You don't want to deal with it. You just don't, because at that point you can't. But we've got to learn to be functionally better. Brain health. Heart health. Find something that makes you happy, that you can hang on to just for a little bit, because I'm telling you, I've had some pretty bad dark days, and I learned that even by us getting up every day, that it's not the days it's not raining and it's good weather, and we can get up in the mornings and we can go walk around in the woods, man, I'm grateful. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm happy because you hear the birds in the background. Man, those birds are like chirping. I know spring's on its way. Spring is coming. And I'm super excited about that. And every little blade of grass, every little bumblebee I see, and every little bird and squirrel and everything that just runs around on the property, I find some joy and some happiness in that. Because, you know, they're not always carefree either, because there's predators and weird things after them too. But things are necessary. You're necessary to be on the planet. So are they. Everything that I looked at in the woods, the box turtle, we saw one. I missed him. I wanted to get him on camera. I couldn't even do it because he was like hopping around, you know, and he was like, oh my God, there's people. And he just jumped right into the creek. So I missed him. But I was glad that I got to see him for a fraction of a second, because I could only imagine, man, his little day was going great, right? Until these people walked up on him in the woods. But thankfully, you know, didn't mess with him, but he was able to get away, and he was able to go about his happy little day doing whatever it is that turtles do. And it makes me think for my own brain health and my own mind. Well, you know, that turtle can do that and live ever how many hundreds of years. Not saying that I'm going to live hundreds of years. Nobody really, I don't know anybody that does. But it would be nice for the time that I have and the time that you have, just to think and relate to something nice, something happy. Because we get a lot of negative crap thrown at us every day as humans. And sometimes we tend to overthink things, and we tend to take things way more emotionally and personally sometimes than we should. So it's nice to take those breaks and those moments, whether it's walking in the woods and exercising, just going somewhere. What makes you happy? Kind of got to find your little pursuit of happiness too. That's why I decided that with everything that I've been through this year, and everything that we've all been through over the last couple of years, I think we all need a little bit of pursuit of happiness. We need to find some joy somewhere and start our days off right. It's hard sometimes for us to find things to make us happy because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in life. There's a lot going on in the world in general. And there's a lot of factors that factor in why we can't have our pursuit of happiness. You can, you just have to look for it, even in the simplest things. Pinecone. This little pinecone is adorable, right? So each one of these little things somewhere in here contains some little seeds. So as it dries and it does what it's going to do, drops off into the ground, little pine trees will emerge from just whatever these seedlings that are contained in this pine cone. And as you can see, the pine cone is open, right? So that means there's a lot of moisture. We've had some rain and some things lately, so these little things open up. So it gets nutrients, it gets what it needs, and it kind of opens up. It's a cool little weather tool that I like to, teach my kids. But when things are dry and things are not right and they're not where they're supposed to be, then it closes up and it becomes just a tight little cone, and you don't have any room to do this. You don't have any room to do anything really. So today, walking in the woods, I found happiness in simple things. Broken trees that are going to be food for another tree. I looked around all over our 12.5 acres and tripped over plenty of roots, but those roots are important because roots are what make trees retain their growth, and it provides them with the nutrients and things that they need. No different than us. We need to make sure our roots are strong. No matter what the situation is, we can always do something to find our little piece of happy or happiness or pursuit of happiness in anything. Even if it's as simple as an adorable little pine cone. We can be just like the pine cone. We can give ourselves what we need. Positive thoughts, positive anything. If you look for the good in things. Nature, like today, it was our nature trail, walking trail. You'll find something to smile about. Little flowers. It's spring coming up soon in several more weeks, so you'll be able to find a lot of good things. So we're gonna walk a little bit more and see if we can find some more really cool things to smile about in our little pursuit of happiness. So let's go walk around some more. So when you walk out of the woods, you come out here to this really awesome clearing. It is a beautiful, beautiful farmland. This is not owned by our property. We're just on the edge of our property just so I can show you how pretty it is. This pond here, I don't know if it has fish in it or what, but there's a little drive back here, little road. So we'll cut through and we'll look at this. I don't know if it's like a drainage area for the field or what have you, but everything around is just pretty and just makes me happy. Just coming out here looking at everything and just kind of finding all kinds of things to smile about, which is the point, you know. There's so much negative going on in the world. We just always seem to tend to focus on negative things. That's not what I want to do. Not for this particular thing that we're working on in this channel. Oh, look, prints. You see them? Look, little prints in there. We have a lot of deer that come in our yard and they travel all around. It's just really pretty. Everything we do has some kind of importance in the world, so. We have to be careful at how we think and what our thoughts do. Negative thoughts breed negative things, so find something to smile about and something to be happy about. Just really pretty. Makes me smile. So this is my Japanese flowering cherry tree. It's really pretty. It's full of blooms, even before the leaves come out. I actually got this several years ago, probably 10 years ago now. I went to visit the Elizabethan Gardens with the hubby. Took a early Mother's Day trip out there. We had a lovely time, and they had these on sale there. They were very teeny tiny, like tiny little trees that they had just started out, and about 5 of them. Well, as you can see, this is the big one. This is the prettiest one that we have in the front yard. The other ones are no longer present, but we do have this one. Now, it's no ways as pretty, and it's obviously had some damage done to the top of it, and I have to say, where we placed it at, well, you know, people have hit it a couple of times with the cars or lawnmowers, and they nearly killed it. But we gave it what it needed, and it's hanging in there. And we're just going to leave it alone and let nature do its thing and just see what it does. And I think with as much care and attention as we've, you know, tried to get it and nurse it back to health, even though it was the same size as the larger one when we got them, I think that one will turn out to be just like that one eventually. We have to look at that too with ourselves. We have to make a decision within ourselves and our own life. Are we going to be happy? Are we going to allow ourselves the attention that we need and do what we need to do to grow and bloom and be pretty? Be pretty on the inside as well as on the outside, because you're not doing any good to anybody else if you're ugly on the inside and pretty on the outside. If you feel so inclined and you want to join the adventure, because I don't know from day to day what I'm going to be doing. No clue. If you want to join along in the adventure and just see where it goes, and it makes you feel good and it makes you feel happy, and I can bring just a little teeny tiny ounce of joy on your television screens, your computer screens, your phones, whatever platform you're watching this on, then I've done my job. So we can get through things together, we can find happy, you can make suggestions, and we'll see where it takes us. So I would rather smile and be happy and find the fun, good things to make my day better, to get my brain health better, and to get my heart health better, than having to be in a bad place where I was before, where I couldn't even get out of bed. So if you're willing to join us, I say, let's go with CrissyO in our pursuit of happiness. So thank you guys for watching. You always subscribe, like, all the good stuff. You know what to do. And we're going to be on a ton of different social media outlets. And I will do my absolute best to bring you the happy and bring you a little bit of happiness and joy into your life. Just from the simple things. Nothing better than that. Now, while you go be happy and find something to be happy about and smile, I just got these bulbs in. Asiatic lily bulbs. I don't know if you can see that. You might can. There's 10 bulbs in here. On the package it said, open immediately. I gotta go plant them. I don't know where I'm gonna plant them. Anywhere will be fine. But we're gonna go plant these things. And then over the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be very excited and happy watching them grow and watching them bloom. Because I've got out and I've done something good and I've done something nice and I've not sat around and did nothing, and I didn't feel sorry for myself, and I felt good. So it'll be a good thing. And then as they bloom and they grow, we'll go back and we'll check on them and take a look-see. All right, so have at it. You guys have a very, very happy day. You count, you matter. Go find you some happy. Find your pursuit of happiness. And I'll be back with you in the next vlog. Have a awesome, wonderful day, guys. So let's go with CrissyO.